So for my final project, I did a first-person fishing game. I was pretty much inspired by different first-person games. I just wanted to see if I can make a first-person type game in Afterburner. So as you can see, it's pretty accurate. You have the little uh, pole placed right in front of you to just mimic you holding on to a pole. The cool things I did for like more immersion is first the sway. If you move your mouse in a certain direction, the pole sways towards that direction. So if you're moving right, then it sways towards the right. You move up, then it sways up and down. Hopefully that's you can kind of see. Hopefully you can also see in the video. Uh, yeah. Also, other thing I did was the bobbing. Anytime anyone moves in the game, well, if the character moves, then pretty much bobs up and down. It's pretty much done with a sine wave. Anytime someone starts walking, then the sine wave starts oscillating, and then I just add the values of the sine wave to the Z position of the camera and also the pole. Also the sound, you can hear footstep sounds. This is done by just anytime the sine wave reaches a negative peak, then pretty much just plays the sound. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the first person camera. A cool thing I did was, as you can see the terrain, you can walk on the terrain. This is pretty much done using this little like class called PX controller in the physics SDK that you can look at. Pretty much it's just lets you control a little capsule, and then physics just does like all the object detection for you. So you can pretty much scale up and down certain heights. If the slope is too steep, then it'll just block you from walking up. I'll go over to the fishing spot and then show you the little fishing minigame that I made. Alright, so here's the little fishing minigame. Pretty much the gist is just wait for a fish to bite and then you just reel it in. So this is pretty much the first stage in the game. This shows you that a fish has bit the line, and then if you hold down the left mouse button, just like reeling it in. On the left you can see a little progress bar, pretty much just an ennui slider that's capped at like a fish's specific difficulty. And if you reel it all the way in, then you get the fish and a cool little victory screen pops up. There's 4 different fish total with different varying difficulties. The smaller fish is one of the smaller fishes, pretty easy to reel in. It just takes like 2 seconds. Some of the bigger fish might take about like 10 seconds to reel in. And they're all just randomly generated. It's a random number generator. I didn't really go too crazy on the RNG. It's pretty much just picks a random index from a vector of fishes that I have. So 0 to 3, and it just picks a random number from that. And you can continue playing, press F or left click, and then the whole little minigame starts. How I did the animations, I guess, for the fishing rod. So as you can see, like the reeling. I had my friend Eli help me out with this. They pretty much went to Blender and pretty much separated each piece of the rod. So the fishing line and the reel, I think that's what you call it, the reel gets disconnected, and so I can manipulate them in the game. Pretty much start reeling it in. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bug that happens. I just continuously just keeps getting smaller and smaller. I know it's like, I read some blog posts about this that happened to try to put a little, I guess, safeguard against it, but I guess that didn't work. But it doesn't stay like that. I did save the position, well, the pose of the original, so if that does happen, you kind of just have to exit out and go back in. Okay, hopefully I can get another fish so I can show you that they're actually different fishes. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that there's a little health bar and it changes colors depending on the current line health. Oh, there you go, redfish. Pretty cool, huh? And yeah, same thing. And then it just kind of repeats. It's pretty much the whole game loop. Oh yeah, pretty cool thing I did Yuri. If you get closer to the, I guess, fishing area, there's a little indicator that pops up for you. Alright, so for the last part of the game, I have a little shop vendor over here. Once you caught fish and you want to sell it, you can just walk into this cat and then sell it. You can check how many fish you have by holding tab. A little Yuri window pops up, and you can see how much fish you have and the amount of money you have. So similar to what the little indicator for the fishing, if you get close to the shop, then an indicator pops up that allows you to enter the shop. Pressing F enters the shop. Cool little, I guess, talking happens with the cat. The cat talks. I have two WOs that kind of go in and out with each other. I have one WO with the mouth closed, and then another WO with the mouth open, and then I'm just switching in between them depending on a certain time variable that I have in the code. In the little dialogue that you saw, this was pretty much done by just parsing through a string. I pretty much have like a bunch of vectors with a bunch of strings that have different dialogues for the cat to talk. Over here is the GUI shop menu. You can hear cool sounds if you hover over the buttons. A little sound shows up. Trying to sell a fish with no fish. Denies you and then plays the sound. But if you sell a fish with her that you have, then the amount goes up to your money, and then cat talks depending on the type of fish you sell it. So yeah, different fish give you different dialogue, which is pretty cool. And then you can pretty much exit by just pressing anywhere outside of the menu. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's a pretty cool project. I think it's very unique. Haven't really seen anyone do a very like, I guess, good first person. I think this is a pretty good first person. I know there's probably better ways to improve it, but for now I'm pretty happy with what I've made. Yeah, you can pretty much just walk anywhere. It's a lot of empty space that I could have done, but I kind of just made the play area just the starting position, or where you kind of loaded in first. But yeah, you can climb up stuff. Probably can't climb up those mountains because they're too steep, but yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I wanted to mention that I made a releasable version of the game. I found all the necessary DLLs, also included all the necessary models and shaders, all that stuff, inside one folder with the application. So anyone with Windows OS can play it. As you can see, launching it up takes a bit because the terrain's loading, but it shouldn't take that long since it's a releasable version. And so yeah, there's the game. Tested it out on different machines, gave it to some of my friends. It seemed to work fine, so hopefully I'm able to create a release on GitHub. Let me know if I can do that. I don't know if I can or not, but I think it'd be cool to have it shareable for everyone to play.